Here's a brief summary of the biblical story of Samson, Samson's birth and early life. Samson was born to Manoah and his wife, who was barren, in the tribe of Dan, Judges 13, 1-5. An angel of the Lord appeared to Manoah's wife, announcing that she would bear a son who would be a Nazirite, set apart for God's service, Judges 13, 3-5. Samson's strength and exploits. As Samson grew up, the Spirit of the Lord began to stir in him, and he became incredibly strong. Judges 13:24-25, 14:6. He performed many feats of strength, including 1. Killing a lion. Samson tore apart a lion with his bare hands, Judges 14:5-6. 2. Defeating 30 Philistines. Samson killed 30 Philistines and took their garments as spoils, Judges 14:19. 3. Killing 1,000 Philistines. Samson used the jawbone of a donkey to kill 1,000 Philistines, Judges 15:15. Samson's weakness, Delilah. Despite his incredible strength, Samson had a weakness: his love for Delilah, a Philistine woman, Judges 16:1-4. Delilah was bribed by the Philistines to discover the source of Samson's strength. After 3 failed attempts, Delilah finally coaxed Samson into revealing that his strength came from his long hair, which was a symbol of his Nazirite vow, Judges 16:17. Samson's downfall. While Samson slept, Delilah had his hair cut, breaking his Nazirite vow and stripping him of his strength, Judges 16:19. The Philistines captured Samson, gouged out his eyes, and imprisoned him, Judges 16:21. Samson's final act. In prison, Samson's hair began to grow back, and his strength returned, Judges 16:22. During a festival in honor of the Philistine god Dagon, Samson was brought out to entertain the crowd. With his renewed strength, Samson pushed down the temple pillars, killing himself and thousands of Philistines, Judges 16:23-30. Samson's story serves as a reminder of the importance of faithfulness, self-control, and humility. Despite his incredible strength, Samson's weakness and disobedience ultimately led to his downfall. Here are some valuable lessons we can learn from Samson's story. 1. Self-control is crucial. Samson's lack of self-control, particularly regarding his relationships with women, led to his downfall. This teaches us the importance of self-discipline in controlling our desires. 2. Pride goes before a fall. Samson's pride and arrogance led him to underestimate his enemies and overestimate his own strength. This reminds us to remain humble and recognize our limitations. Disobedience has consequences. Samson's decision to disobey God's commands, particularly regarding his Nazirite vow, led to his loss of strength and ultimately his death. This teaches us the importance of obedience to God's commands. Our strength comes from God. Samson's incredible strength was a gift from God, and when he disobeyed God, he lost that strength. This reminds us that our abilities and talents come from God, and we must use them wisely. 5. Compromise can lead to destruction. Samson's compromise with Delilah, a Philistine woman, led to his downfall. This teaches us to be cautious about compromising our values and principles. 6. Redemption is possible. Despite Samson's mistakes, God still used him to accomplish great things, even in his final act. This reminds us that God can redeem us from our mistakes and use us for his purposes. 7. Accountability is essential. Samson lacked accountability in his life, which contributed to his downfall. This teaches us the importance of surrounding ourselves with people who will hold us accountable and encourage us to live according to God's standards. These lessons can help us navigate our own lives, avoiding the pitfalls that Samson encountered, and instead living a life of obedience, self-control, and faithfulness to God.